report. Commander of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, in Anambra State, Ibadin Judith-Chukwu has raised fresh concern over the rising trend of human trafficking in the state, warning that the situation is becoming increasingly alarming. In an interview with journalists in Oka, Judith-Chukwu highlighted a disturbing pattern emerging in rural parts of the state where young people cohabitate by mutual agreement with the sole aim of producing babies for illegal sale. We have seen situations where a girl gets pregnant and shortly after, someone appears with a marriage proposal. Once she delivers, the man disappears with the child and sells the baby, often without the mother's consent, she said. She identified rural communities as the hotspot for such towns, for such illicit practices, and called for broader public enlightenment, especially in hard-to-reach areas. The NAPTIP commander acknowledged efforts by the agency to tackle the menace, citing the creation of state task forces as a major step. Since its establishment in 2020, the Anambra State Task Force on Human Trafficking has reportedly been active, organizing sensitization campaigns and liaising with law enforcement and community bodies. We are engaging traditional rulers, religious leaders, sister agencies, and grassroots groups. These are key players in our awareness strategy, she noted. Judith-Chukwu added that the upcoming August meeting, an annual gathering of women across communities, will be leveraged as a platform for intensified sensitization against trafficking and baby factories. She urged all stakeholders to unite in confronting what she described as sophisticated and organized crime that is preying on vulnerable young people. You know, when reports like this are visible, it becomes a thing where we get to question our humanity, where someone, you know, decides that what I want to do now, because I need some money, is to get pregnant for a whole 9 months for somebody that claims to want to marry them. Then they take them home on the guise of I'm going to marry you, or I want to marry you. And the lady has a baby, and the baby is taken from her. The baby is abducted from her. The baby is removed from her and sold for financial gain. What are your thoughts on this report?
It's so pathetic that a mother, a woman, a lady, a girl, a female want to do such for the sake of what? Peanuts, for the sake of financial loan.
Now, for some women, they go ahead to do it. For some women, as this report carries, it shows that men come to them to want to marry them, right? And they agree to marry this man. And when these kids are had, when these babies are born, the men take these babies and abandon the lady without the child, without the marriage, just tears and empty-handedness. Why?
On that thought, I believe there's what we call relationship. In course of relationship, one should not be blindfolded with the cliche of love. Love, L-O-V-E. Love did not start today and it will end. So you shouldn't be, when a man tells you something that I love you, it's not in the mere words. It is beyond the words. It is meaning behind the meaning. That's what via semantic comes into play. Now, you look at the meaning of the word. Is this now in his action? Does he really love you? In his behaviors, does he really love you? Apart from saying it, no. Some men, the only time they tell a woman "I love you" is when in what sexual intercourse. So you look at this man. Also look at the vision. Are two of you compatible?
Right.
Are you people going the same direction? These are the tenets. Before you what you say what I do. Before you even think of what. But these days, most women, because maybe you think maybe the man is well-to-do, maybe he has a car, he has a house, maybe he's living in he's comfortable, and for that reason, or maybe is sexually strong and he can take you around the world, and you think that is a tenet for you to do what. And some women will go the extra mile of say what, even without that they will take in for this man, and at the long run. Even when, because I must bet you, Otara, that every man knows what he wants. Every man knows what he wants. And he knows, even before the first interaction, most men knows that this lady is on a short-term relationship. And maybe the lady on her own part holds him in high esteem, says, okay, I want to be with this man. On the other part, you confirm, does this man also want to be with you? Before taking it. And some ladies will go at the extra man to make sure ensuring that he takes. And most of the times, desperation comes into play.
Right.
Maybe you're desperate or to having them.
Why do you think this desperation is, getting into the spur of the moment?
That's my analysis, that some ladies feel that based on societal norms and rite of passage, rite of passages, whereby you think that, okay, I'm getting to 30, from 30 years I should be in my husband's house. It does not go that way. You can be single, and even at 30, at 40, and you be doing well. You enjoy your life at premium. You must not be under a man. I'm not saying you should not be under a man. It's not a must. So you should live comfortably. Ensure that you're comfortable, you're fine. Not that you pump into a relationship. Maybe 6 months time you're out, 3 months time you're out. And maybe at the case, most of the cases like the one we had over some years, whereby a popular gospel artist, I don't want to call her name, that was beaten to death, and because we all know the case that sang a popular song, a gospel artist. So you shouldn't be to that level, whereby you'll be handicapped. And I told somebody that anything that is not attainable in a relationship, in courtship, should not be attainable in marriage. You don't amend marriages. You don't put it. You say we'll put it right. We'll get the no. We'll get to the bridge because it's a lie. In marriage, in relationship, in marriages, you don't get to the bridge to cross it.
Right.
If you don't like it in relationship, say this thing. I don't like it. Don't say the person will change. No. For example, if you're not of the same faith, maybe you're in a different religion, I'm a different religion, and say at the long run that we'll come to a single religion, it won't work. Because I may not want to leave mine for yours, and you may, on the other part, may not want to leave yours for mine, and at the end, we have some conflict, and so the one must bow to the other. So what you don't fake in courtship, relationship,
take in marriage.
You won't take in marriage.
Now, before we move to our next topic, I want to just, I wonder, do we as a people, right, as a society, do we wonder what is usually done with these children that are abducted? Are they, do you think it's, I mean, off my head now, right now in my thoughts, do you think it stems from they are being, is for organ harvesting? Do you think they are being given out for adoption to people that are unable to have children? Do you think they are being sold for money? There's also the matter of ritualism. Just across board, do you think we are angry about the situation enough as a people? Just this yesterday, a woman was caught with 14 children in a car. None of these children were hers. She was going to traffic these children. Do you think that as a society, when you look at it, when you look at it structurally from your purview just now, do you think that we are angered by this consistent and repeated action of, now it's gotten to the point where people don't just abduct people's children, people get someone pregnant or meet someone that is, probably pregnant out of wedlock, marry that person and abscond with their babies. Do you think we are angered enough as a people?
After the government is not doing enough. And also on the other part, the people, the masses, the populace are also not doing enough. Whereby you see, I don't want to use the word hardship because there's nothing like hardship. Even in the times of Joseph and the Israelites, where they had hardship.
Right.
Joseph, the Israelites only came to Egypt to buy food and they went back. Issues like this did not really occur.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to use the word hardship, but the level at which you see someone, I was made to know of a situation whereby a woman that has a child, has some children, had to call for some ladies from their various states in Nigeria, took them to a location where she fenced and all that, and placed them and was feeding them, and brought in some men that would just sleep with them without using antiseptics and all that, and get them pregnant at the end. These children,
so sort of like a baby farm,
baby farm, baby factory. Yes, whereby at the end of it, they will not give birth to it, and maybe these ladies will be paid peanuts, and their children will be sold to so-called allergies and all that, and then she gets the form and then gives them peanuts and all that. So when I thought of it, but thank God, in my little way, we were able to comfort the government, and they were abreast. But I also put it to you that at the long run, I was so surprised whereby in less than 3 months, this woman came back to continue such business. And in my thought, I felt the government did not do enough, because we reported this issue to the government.
And she was released.
And she was released, and she came back to continue the same business. And at that point, I felt that there's no. That's where I got some level of disillusionment in the system, in the government system, and in the law enforcement agents for releasing her at this point and making her she come back to this, because when she came back, there's some comments she made, and I felt that she put it. So this, what I'm saying in essence, that that the society, the government they are not doing enough. In the sense that, because these persons are living around us.
Right.
These same persons will not give out their own children from their womb for this same business. Why will you use that? And you're using, and most of the times these ladies, some of them goes through so many things, and at the end they give them peanuts for their children. And going forward, they may not have the opportunity to give pets.
Right.
And their children and most of the times their children are used for rituals, not even for prostitution alone, rituals, killing and all that. And you cannot really call back the times and season. And it now boils down to the system and makes society so porous.